like for instance, like me and Mira, like there was already like.
Whatever you put your heart to, whatever you're passionate about, and whoever you celebrate in life, people are always going to celebrate with you. So, we wouldn't have been here today in this beautiful office space if not of Mr. Chico Abengoa. I hope I pronounced that right. If you're looking for office space, I'm sure you went around. There's so many rooms available. You know, just have that in mind. You can always contact him. And he's going to give us a word. If Mr. Chico could come forward, please. And then just a little housekeeping. The restaurants are all the way in the back. When you come out from here, you're going to make a right. Just like they give directions back home. You go come over here, you go make it right now. And then you go all the way straight. You'll see that bathroom for back for corner day. Yeah, now that you go enter for day. My opinion is not the best, but yeah. All right,
so I want to encourage you all to just keep going. If you've done it 100 times, you can do it 1,000 times. And some of the folks that were against you are going to start to come around and be for you, and you'll be surprised what happens. I mean, everybody in here is a witness of you all's risks that you're taking, right? And as time goes on, you're going to see, I mean, it's a passion for you all. When you follow your passion, money comes. You know what I'm saying? You just got to just keep taking that risk over and over and over and over and over. So I'm proud of you all. Just keep it rocking, and let's win together. Okay?
Thank you, Mr. Chico, and we are proud of your achievement. Keep doing the good work that you're doing in our community. Our sister here, Masa, she's also part of this. Can you stand up so everyone can introduce you? She also helped raise these two when they were still running up and down in napkins, not diapers. You know, back home they tie the napkins and then they put the plastic. She helps do that for them. So give her a round of applause. All right. So our first person that we're going to introduce is Uncle AK, also known as Akondimba. And he started this with Ato and Hans. Hans is not here today. Ako has always been passionate about being a public speaker, you know, talking to people about things, making a difference. And he's also very, very tech savvy. Whenever anyone in the family has any computer issues, we always call on Uncle AK. I remember when Uncle AK was a child, he was so annoying. Oh my God, he had this annoying voice. He was like, "Mama, what are you doing, Mama?" And that annoying voice has turned into a mature, responsible, God-fearing, handsome little brother. Uncle AK, let's give him a hand of applause. And one thing I like about him is his shoes. Can we just wait? Just walk down, let everyone see your shoes. So where did you get these shoes from? What brand is it?
He bought them for me.
I don't feel bad because mine is Ducini. You guys, you know, you ladies know Ducini. Oh yeah. $12.99. So let's give a round of applause. Thank you so much for the work you're doing in our community. It's not easy to bring different people, talk about what they do. It's a way of letting the community know that there are people around doing big things and inspiring us as well. So thank you so much for the work you do.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
The next person I'm going to introduce is Reflex. Reflex is also an entertainer. He is a musician and he's also known as Atomba. Can we give a round of applause at one time? I have to do my favorite song. Come on. He has to do a rap for us before this is out. Come on. I need to dance for you, please. Come on. Can you guys see?
I told the girl, don't be insecure. No, boy, I give you now, you never see before. But we make another form like I know the girls. They get it
Okay. So we're just going to go into question and answer session. But before we begin, each of them is going to give us a word, and then we'll go from there. All right.
I appreciate.
I'm just gonna. The thing is not, working. So it is actually working. So pretty much when you think about podcasting, it's become like a big phenomenon in recent years. Everybody's doing it as far as podcasting is concerned. I have notes on my phone, so if I look down, I prepare a speech. Yeah. But yeah, so everybody's doing podcasting. It's good. Like it's a good thing. You know what I mean? Like people have voices, public voices. People when we think about like Twitter and Facebook, you know, people have voices and are opinionated. And it's good to have those, you know, conversations. And so originally, my brother AK and my cousin Hans, who's in California right now, they originally tapped me to be the technical director of Stuck in the Middle. We have been talking about it December 2016. They have been talking about it actually in like a WhatsApp group. And being that my background is in communications, I work for C-SPAN, it's a television station part-time. They tapped me to be the technical director, so I came on there pretty much just to do stuff like this, you know, mics and TV and camera, because we knew it was going to be a video podcast. And it was, yeah, the thing was so sweet, I had to get in front of the camera too. You know what I'm saying? I'm just kidding. A lot had to happen for me to get there, but I love the idea of Stuck in the Middle because the idea of it is, like I said, everybody's doing podcasting and it's great. But what we are unique in is that we actually are bridging gaps between ideas, bridging gaps between thoughts, bridging gaps between businesses, bridging gaps between podcasts and entrepreneurs and people like Chico, people like Abdul, people like Talib, people like my cousin Will, people like, and I see a lot of people here who have been on Stuck in the Middle, DM, and I know Jason is in the building somewhere, so it's a great thing to see everybody still here, you know, coming to support again. And so what we do, and I know he's going to talk a little bit about it later, is we just have conversations. You know, growing up in Cameroon, you know, you have people that you look at, it's like, dang, like, you know what I'm saying, I wonder how they got there, or they're made, or so to speak, like, for me, that person would be like a person like Chico. I just heard a man talking about $1 million company, you know what I mean? And so you kind of see them in the distance, and they're like untouchable, even though they, like in your community, I live up the street. And so what Stuck in the Middle does is it brings us people into your living room. And so we are a video podcast. You can literally turn on YouTube and you hear in-depth conversations that we have with these people as far as like we get in-depth. We ask them, we have conversations with them about like they're growing up and how they started and where they are right now and their perspective thoughts and just their philosophy and their point of views and how they got there. And I believe that it's inspiring. I believe that people enjoy the conversations. My dad, he listens to it religiously. Every episode we drop, he listens to it. He's in his 60s, but he's inspired every day. I know for a fact that Chico has been, and I'm not just saying this because he's here and he's building his episode, and I know we also got famous guests, but it's one of my favorites. But yeah, like every time we have an episode, I learn something new. I was just talking to Quaniz, appreciate you coming through about, you know, the health field, and we had an episode with somebody who was a doctor, and she has her own practice, and just the stuff that happens behind the insurance and everything. So every week we tune in stuff really gets something. And so my transition has gone from, you know, the technical aspect to actually being a co-host with AK. Like I said, what we do on a weekly basis is, if we know, like our calendar is booked till December. And every week we spend a week without guests. Like I know when Talib was coming through, I was on his website, his social media, just researching, getting to know that person. So when they come, we're not just asking surface questions. Like we're thinking, like, how is the audience going to want to know about this person? That future lawyer, like Talib is, that future activist, like Talib is, that future, what else are you, right? That future, I don't know, father, you know what I mean? He's traveled Africa, and you know what I mean? And so just, you know, getting to know his experiences. And so it's been a joy, it's been a year. When we talk about the 100th episode, it's, you know, it's like people don't just celebrate 100th episode. I like to brag the fact that we actually have guests. Like, you know, it's in podcasting, some people do it, they have topics, you know, they just muse over it. As far as like, you know, they talk about, you know, the latest pop culture fad. And it's good, those conversations are great. And people gravitate more to that just by virtue of we being millennials. And so when we talk about business, entrepreneurs, and move makers, people are like, you know what I'm saying? That's where, you know, personally speaking, I know it's not what we're working on that, but it's encouraging. And so what I was going with that is when we celebrate 100th episode, I think of it of the hard work of people like Ma, who's in the back with a beautiful Stuck in the Middle shirt, putting in those countless time, emailing people and guests having to cancel, guests have been so, oh, I'm gonna come late. Like, it's that work that we're celebrating, like actually having guests every freaking week for a year to 100. We actually passed 100. Like, we just lost count. I think it's 112. So that's what, yeah, it's more than that. That's why I'm really proud of this. And it's not just 100 episodes. I was just sitting down in our car, just at home, having conversations. It's 100 episodes actually having meaningful, in-depth conversations with 100 plus people. There have been times when we've had guests like, you know, Jason and his whole team, legacy of artists and poets and things like that. So that's when I think about 100. That's what I think about, and I'm just happy to be on this team. And I'm your host, one of your hosts, Reflex, and this is the podcast. We are.
All right. Thank you so much for that, Ato. And what he said is true, because you know, whatever you want to do in life, I don't know if you guys have read the book by Malcolm Gladwell, the 10,000 hour rule. Whatever you want to do, you have to spend 10,000 hours putting a lot of commitment and diligence and patience into whatever you have passion about. Just like Serena and her sister, they started playing tennis from a very young age. Their dad trained them, and look at where they are today. Arnold Schwarzenegger, I don't know if you know of his story. He was in Australia or Germany. Where is he from? Australia. And he wanted to come over here, and he was so passionate. And he did bodybuilding because he saw a magazine, and he said, you know what, I think that's going to take me to America. He started doing bodybuilding, and then he found his way here, and he became famous in some magazines. And it didn't end at that. He said he wanted to act. He went for a lot of auditions, and he was turned down because of his accent. They were like, who's going to take you with that heavy accent? And not only his accent, the way he looked, he was so huge, and his name, they were like, Schwartz, they're not going to be able to pronounce that name. But look at where he is today. And he, just because of that accent, if you watch the movie Terminator, when he said, I will be back, that was one of the famous hits, one of the famous phrases in any movie. So it's just a lesson that the time and effort that you're putting into this, tomorrow, who knows, we're probably going to be sitting in Hollywood somewhere. You know, I believe that that's going to happen just because of the just stay committed to whatever you want to do, and I'm sure it's going to pay off at the end of the day. All right, so Uncle AK is going to give us another one.
Good evening, guys.
The shy one.
Well, I got my dad on the phone. You know, I just wanted to show him, you know, what he's missing right now. I wish he was here, but you know, his other piece is here. You know, it's his lady. So, Dad, say hi to everybody.
Hey.
All right, bye. Well, thank you for coming. It's only right to introduce the team, you know, formally. Who should we start with? Well, Deuce, camera guy. You know, he's always been there day one. Even now, I mean, he moved on to bigger and better things. We happy for him, but he always comes through. You know, when we have events like this. There's Achiri. Man, I don't know what to title Achiri, so I'll just say Achiri. You know, the other camera guy back there. He's always with us 24/7 on the road. You know, in the studio. There's Ma. Where's Ma? All the way back there. She's a PR girl. I got tired of booking people. Like, there came a point in time when I said, I don't want to do this no more, because you know people that don't want to show up, or they say they're going to show up and they don't show up. It's a little bit frustrating, but Ma, you know, she took over that role. She's doing a great job at it. I don't have to worry about, you know, emailing anybody. You know, she finds the people, sends it to, you know, Reflex, and I was like, okay, cool, let's do it. And, you know, she takes care of that. There's Mane. Where's Mane?
Mane's coming.
She's somewhere.
Coming.
She's right here.
Mane, come on.
Mane, come on.
Yeah, there's Mane. I don't know if you guys have checked out our blog section.
Yes.
You know, this is the beautiful lady behind it, Mane. You know, she reads a lot. I read too sometimes, and you know, we talk about books and all that stuff. And she inspires me, you know, to read more, and her blogs too. You know, she came a long way. Listen, it took me a year to convince her to write one blog for me. A year. So one of my roles was stuck in the middle is just bringing, you know, Mane, bringing Ma, bringing Deuce, Achiri, Reflex himself, you know, and Sir Hans, who is in Cali right now, together, you know, to make this what it is today. It hasn't been easy, you know, working with, you know, all these great individuals. You know, everybody is a communication major. She's a yeah, there you go. Everybody in their own field, you know, everybody thinks different. It's a little hard to bring all of them together, but we've managed, being that we're adults, we've managed to, you know, see past, I guess, hard times to make Stuck in the Middle what it is today, 100th episode. Yeah, thank you, Ma. Thank you, actually. Thank you, Deuce. But Stuck in the Middle, how did it start? It started in Michigan, actually, when I was going to school in Michigan. If you knew the iPhone, you know, the very first iPhone that came out, there was that podcast app. And I always wanted to delete that app, but I didn't know how to delete that thing off my phone. I said, what is this? What is this thing? Being that I love technology, I just love exploring things. I'm a monkey. Growing up, like, my bad, this is how I tell stories. I jump from, you know, story to story, story to story till I land. But yeah, growing up, my mom used to drag me to the farm, you know, to church. Everywhere she went, I was like her handbag. Just because she leaves the TV, I'm right with a screwdriver. I'm like, what's behind this thing? What makes, you know, the visuals come up so clean? A radio, everything. I was destroying everything. That's how much I'm passionate about technology. And being that, you know, that app was there, I just wanted to know what it was. And one night I clicked on it, and you know, I seen like little squares with pictures on them. I remember the very first podcast I ever listened to was Oprah talking. I was like, well, what is this? So I started doing research on it, and you know, I found out that you could actually record something and just put it on there. It's radio, but it's a more advanced form of radio. So you could record, leave it on there for ages, and people could still listen to it. Imagine this, you know, get married someday, you know, or inspired by kids. I said, well, I used to do this back in the day, just to show you that you don't have to focus on one thing. You could do multiple different things. So 50 years down the road, it's still going to be there. So why should we, you know, why can't we do it? Other people are doing it. Why can't we do it? A lot of people sit and talk. Some of them is just noise. Some of them is actually informational, but it's still talk. We do it every day, be it in your homes, at work, in school, you're doing it. So why not record it, put it out there? If Anderson Cooper or Charlamagne the God, for those who know him, or Oprah, if they could do it, why can't we do it? You know, what is it that's saying that's different from what we saying or what we doing? There's no difference. The only difference really is they're on the much higher scale and we're down here. But our vision is to get on the same platform and even better. So we took that, we ran with it. I told Reflex, being that he works for C-SPAN, and you know, he's behind the scenes for all the productions and stuff. I said, yo, come on. It was hard to convince him. Let me tell you something about Reflex. This guy. This is one of the hardest persons to work with, this guy. I mean, like, you tell him one, he looks, the thing that I know the most is he doesn't talk much. When you speak, it's like, it goes here, and it just comes out here. He looks at you, and goes right back to what he's doing. Like, did you hear what I said? Yeah, okay. What do you want me to say, man? I'm like, give me a response. Like, I got you later. And then it's like never. But I still love him though. It's cool. I found a way to work with him. And, you know, we work very peacefully. Found a way to work with everybody. But back to Stuck in the Middle. We just try to inspire the next generation. You know, be it if you're an entrepreneur or you know you're working for the government, technology, or whatever it is you're trying to, you know, what's the word? Inspire them. We're just trying to inspire the next generation, you know, to tell them that just don't focus on one thing. There's so many different things you could be doing. Coming from an African background, either you're a lawyer, doctor, engineer, or disgrace to the family. But, my dad has this vision, you know, I call it a vision because it's like things that he wanted to do that he couldn't do, so he wants to leave it to us. And I'm like, Dad, that will not pass. Just, you know, leave it there. I don't want to be a pilot. First of all, I'm scared of heights. I'm scared of heights. I don't want to be a pilot. You cannot leave your dreams through me. So, I said that to say, our parents, you know, like I said, a doctor, lawyer, engineer, I think they just want us to be that, coming from an African standpoint. But we try to change that playing field. I tell, our other African, brothers and sisters, or even African American brothers and sisters, that you could be anything you want. You just have to set your mind to it. Like Chico, for example, if somebody told you that this perfect office is just how many years?
4 years.
4 years. 4 years. And $1 million revenue. You won't believe it. It's because he found his niche and he focused on it day in, day out. I was just having a conversation the other day, and it was about he told me he was waking up at 3 a.m. to come here. I said, man, I don't know what you're smoking, but okay. You do that. I'm asleep, and I'll see you at 6 a.m. And I actually showed up at 7 a.m. I mean, I know in his head was like this guy, but I'm getting there, and I'm gonna get there for sure. Can everybody pull out the phones? I know everybody got a phone. Can everybody pull out your phone?
Hey, bro.
Pull out your phone. YouTube, please. If you haven't subscribed, I need you to hit that SITM. Let's check that.
Yeah, I can check it. Just do on the search bar SITM podcast.
Subscribe. If you've already subscribed, appreciate you. If you haven't, could you please do so? Subscribe.
If you're not signing into YouTube, you actually have to sign in.
Yeah.
Oh,
And we're not just on YouTube, by the way. We're on every streaming platform except Spotify, but we are working on that. We're going to get on that for all the Spotify lovers. Stuck in the Middle is a great platform. I believe in it. I believe in all the people that come on there. They got great stories. I say an idea is never, like there's nobody who started something from scratch. You copied it from someplace and just modified it into something bigger and better.
And that's also, it also speaks to the name Stuck in the Middle. A lot of people are into a trajectory where they have a vision. They want to, be full-time entrepreneurs and work with their own schedule. And they also have part-time jobs. Like me, my part-time job funds my dream. And so that's kind of stuck in the middle there. And so what we do is we take on Sundays, and so throughout the week we have a calendar. We know we have a guest on Sunday, and we pretty much just look at the calendar. If the guest is to leave throughout my week, if I have some free time, I would just look on his social media, his website, write 2 or 3 questions down, and we have a group chat where we all bounce ideas off of. And I think that we're very organized. We have a calendar, Gmail, that everything. If somebody posts something there, everybody gets it. The group chat, it helps. And we know Sunday at 4 p.m. is show time, and so everybody has that blocked off. And I don't know more than that.
Yeah. I'll just say we write down. Like in the nursing field, they say if you don't document, it didn't happen, right? So we just write down everything. We write down everything and we hold each other accountable. So if you fail in some aspect, you definitely want to hear the voices. Oh, that guy standing back there, actually, he got a smart mouth, man. You don't want him to come at you. Like it's just one word, and you sit there, you calculate your child life. Like, wait, what did I do to deserve that? You know what I mean? And because it's like that, I'm always, oh, I got to do this because I don't want him to say something. Because if he says something, I'll say something back to him, and then we're going to go back and forth.
That group chat,
I don't want that. Yeah, it's just using the people around you to kind of mold, yourself as well.
And discipline.
And not only Sundays too, they also put it over time because you guys also do during the week as well. Right?
We have guests coming from out of town and they can only come in on a Tuesday. And I'm like, man, I got to work 4 a.m. tomorrow, but we sacrifice and make it happen.
Yeah, the truth of the matter is, like, there is 150 45 stuff in the middle episodes actually, 145. But our Sunday episodes are 100 plus the ones we do during the week. So technically more than 100, but just for the sake of Sunday, we're doing 100.
I'm interested to know, hey everybody, my name is Will, or T to my family.
And if you could just introduce yourself and tell us what you do if you have a business, because it's a way for
Oh,
other people
okay.
to know as well.
So you're gonna put me on the spot, you better
I know,
everybody.
right?
I said in the beginning, because no one said anything, so.
My name is Will. I work at the University of Pennsylvania. I'm the assistant director for the Center for Minority Service Institutions. I'm also
Yes.
working on I guess my question is, I think you hinted on this a little bit. I think often when people talk about their business or their different ideas, they talk about like where they started and where they got to. But I'm really interested to know, like, at those lowest moments, like when somebody cancels at the last minute, or when you get that moment that's like, yo, excuse my language, John C. Damn, I can't do this anymore. Like, how do you, like, what is the motivation behind, like, you know what, like, no, we gotta do this. Like, we have guests coming, or we need to find enough guests, and how can we make that happen?
I would say, well, for me, I've had one moment when I felt like giving up. You know, I just felt like I don't want to do this no more because I was looking at the numbers. Sometimes, like in the business world, they say numbers don't lie. But in this world, if you look at numbers, you would just hate your life because you can't force somebody to, you know, watch what you're putting out. You can only hope. You can only hope and pray. So when Reflex, you know, is having his moments, and I'm putting him in the spot. When he's having his moments, I just, you know, it's my brother, so I learned, you know, I know who he is, not 100, but I know who he is. So when he's having his moments, I just use the minus sign, minus Reflex, equals to stuck in the middle. So still there, you know, when you're out of your funk, come back, that minus I just add a stroke, it becomes a plus. Oh, he's back, and that's just it.
When you talk about numbers, what do you mean? Like,
Views,
Like
downloads.
views, downloads, and all that stuff.
Yeah. And it's spread out across, you know, audio and video. For me, it's like, I know we have Irma. She's like very critical. Like after when we drop an episode every Monday, she's like, I don't like that gas, so you know. And I know she actually listens, you know, or you know, and I've had multiple times where I'm like, yo, man. That's probably like every Sunday, to be honest. I'm constantly reminded of how, like, for example, I'm just being transparent. I'm like, man, this person's not, like, this conversation is right with me. And then, like, when we actually tape it, I'm like, yo, that joint's fire. I can't remember people, and that's like 95% of the time. I'm just, you know, always, yeah. And so, yeah, for me, it's every week, but it's fun. Like, I do what I love. Like I said, my job is, you know, technical, and so just showing up and doing what I love is, you know, the half of it, and then, you know, he brings 100, Ma brings his 100, everybody else brings 100, and it's a good thing.
The truth about communication is if you actually pay attention to what somebody's saying, I mean, like, open your brain, you know, to just absorb. You might not get everything, but there's one thing that's going to spark your mind. It's going to, like, change something in you, like, wait, why did that person say that? Or why are they doing that? That's why we have this weekly conversation. Because I could take, you know, from Chico, I could take from you know, all of our guests, one thing, put it together, and I have this, you know, brilliant idea, and I can run with it. I mean, I don't take every single one because it's just too much, but I try to. And Reflex, man, like, he's a communications major. You know, he speaks better than I do. So when we start recording, even though he goes, man, this gets on the beat, I just laugh because in the back of my mind, I know the fact that once it sits there, the cameras come on, his brain just starts, you know, firing questions, and that's just how, you know, we go with it on a weekly basis.
Yeah, and just a testament, like, also, we had a guest, and I'm not going to go too deep into it because it's kind of confidential. We had a guest very early. Every guest has been dope, I'm going to be honest, but we had a guest very early in the podcast. He was actually out of town that I had a chance to interview him solo. And when we turned on the camera, we had a whole like different 2-hour conversation that has changed my life. I'm talking financially to this day. I can't get into specifics of it, but that's just awesome. It's like a big podcast. And that same guest has changed 300 people's lives. I'm talking like financially. They're set. They got families now from that one guest. So if you want to know who that is, I can tell you, but it's confidential. I can tell you after.
I think I saw your hand first, and then sorry.
Oh, he's on Okay, so hi everyone, my name is Merve. I'm a certified mediator and I work at the Anne Arundel Conflict Resolution Center in Annapolis. So my question is, and you kind of touched based on it a little bit, but I just want to know, like, what is like the process of you like choosing guests and yeah, just choosing guests in general.
I'm not God, so I can't say his business is not dope. I can't say your business is not dope. You started it, right? There's a reason why you started it. I'm not going to be judged that. I can only provide a platform for you to talk about it. So when you come on, it's up to you. The ball is in your court. Do you want to speak facts or, you know, get people behind you, or do you just want to flop your way to do it? We do extensive research online, and I hate Apple for doing this. That new update that shows, is it screen time? Yeah. It tells you how long you spend on social media. I mean, the extensive amount of hours spent on social media is insane. Just looking for guests to come on the show. So we constantly like looking, and sometimes too they reach out to us. My whole thing is, if you got a business, come talk about it. You have a voice. Everybody got a voice. Come talk about it. Why not?
It's a platform for entrepreneurs, innovators, move makers, and we've had artists, Kimbo, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, just come through and talk about it. When we started, it was hard getting guests. Man, like, we were on, like, Friday night, it's like, yo, we don't got nobody. You know what I'm saying? Yo, what we gonna do? But now, like, our email is just churning. Like, social media, DMs is like, they're like, yo, I'm in town. So we're booked to, like, December. And, yeah, it's, now it's just like, people are like, yo, I'm in town. Can we, you know, record? I want to, you know, so it's, yeah, when we started, it was hard. But now it's like, yeah, we out there.
I'm sorry, that was my question too.
So I'm live. Hi everybody. And I have a quick question. I was wondering, I'm into real estate. And I was wondering if you guys could tell me, you know, every single one of you guys, what's the best piece of advice, or, you know, at least the most common idea you've heard from one of the guests you've interviewed during the show? You could share that with us, please. Thank you.
Best piece of advice from
advice or an uncommon idea, like something you heard from a guest that actually, you know, you felt like was, you know, something that could be to some extent groundbreaking. You've never heard of anything like that or whatever, and it changed your life in some ways.
We have 3 staple questions that we ask every single guest. What's success to you? And that question of, you know, that little moment when you felt like giving up. And it's like, how did you climb up out of it? And you gotta tell us about yourself. Those are the 3 staples. And I know, like, what success to you is relative, meaning, you know, everybody has their own definition of success. And for me, just getting to hear everybody's definition of success on a weekly basis. I think when that really stuck with me was we actually have I operate in the Christian worldview, and so just knowing that everything that person did was for the betterment of her relationship with her God, and also like just impacting other people. And that's how I operate as well. So for me, that really stuff. There's a lot in my head just spinning right now because it's really big, and I write it down.
I think my mindset is if your idea is not big, then you're not really. How does it go? If your dreams are not, are not big, they don't scare you. And man, when I say day in, day out, it's like people say you build castles in the air. Yeah, why not? Build them. But the only thing is don't build castles and not do anything with it. You know, just go, take that first step. You know, anything that you're dreaming in your head, just do it. You have one life to live, so why not do it? And that's what stuck with me with most of the guests.
Any other questions? I'm sure we have a lot.
Yes, so I'm going to be direct and truthful. Now, I'm a cooking. I'm not going to go into details. My question to you guys is, your brothers, right? From the same womb. Now, can you tell us the greatest challenge you've had as brothers while the greatest challenge you've had as brothers, like you cannot move, I don't want to say you don't want to move forward. Like, okay, this is my brother, we need to do this, we need to make this work. And at this point, you're thinking of, okay, can you tell us
what the greatest challenges for husband?
It's as recent as 2 weeks ago. I hit him up and I was like, bro, you ain't old, man. I tell you, man, it's weekly. Like, yeah, just the amount of work. We had a guest. Because you know the midterm elections are coming up November 6th. So we had a discussion on the midterm election with two ladies who really that's a good job. And I actually didn't host it because I got to doing research and I was just like, man, I'm so tired, man. I called him, I was like, bro, let's cancel it. And he was like, you're so already emotional. And so like, I think for him that's the biggest challenge, just me being inconsistent. I think I'm saying like you relating to my inconsistency. Right. That's a challenge for him. And you know, just to answer your question, just knowing that like even for Chico, just that consistency. He wakes up at 3 a.m. He said the reason why, especially on cold days, so he can go out and put yard signs, you know, the signs, and that's just consistency. Doing that consistency. For me, I'm so inconsistent, but he's able to, you know, be consistent. That's how we reach 100.
What's your own challenge?
Yeah, you know, just researching how to guess.
No, your own challenge to me, like what is
to him? Man, we gotta stop, bro. I think like when we actually recording, I talk like my brain is, you know, I think a lot and I'm inquisitive. So he's a lot more patient. So when we're recording, we bounce. So we actually text each other like, you know, you got that next question, or you know, don't ask that or ask this. And so my challenge for him is just, energy. And I get frustrated because I'm like high energy, he's more mental, so just matching that when we're live and having to not portray that because we have a camera, it's a challenge, bro. Sometimes I just
my challenge would be him cutting it short. Like I try to say something, like he's just talking, and you know he goes quiet. I'm about to say something like, oh, by the way, oh my bad, I'm cutting you short, bro. Damn, dog, like, come on, man. Like he just doing it constantly. If you really watch, sometimes I just sit there and just watch. So yeah, that's my greatest. But I love it though. I just love the fact that you know he could think on his feet, like he balances out.
One more, please, guys. Sorry, they are my brothers, so I need to pick on them. So, on this particular project, has someone along the line criticized you, and how did you look at it? Did you look at it in the positive aspect of it, or you looked at it in the negative part of it, given the fact that you've gone to this level? Getting to this level means you've taken into criticisms and you've looked at it maybe in a positive way or in a negative way, and has that made you grown, or did that demoralize you in any way, or how did you look at it?
The good thing about us is we have a humble beginning, meaning you know as children growing up, you know, we're very humble, and coming from Africa, and like if you're this age, well, if you're not our age, right, and you still let criticism really stop you from doing something, then I don't know what to tell you, because growing up day in, day out, oh, Dalton, oh, you're stupid. you know, that makes your skin thicker. So today somebody would say, oh man, like your accent is very thick. So what? Did you understand what I was saying though? Yeah. So what's the problem? What is the problem? What do you want me to do? Go to the doctor and tell him to wrap my tongue a certain way, sound a certain way? I mean, I can only, you know, speak the way, you know, I speak. I mean, I'll try to improve, but I'm not just gonna wake up and just change or say, you know what I mean? I take every criticism positive. Well, first off, I look at what you say and I ask myself, do you have a point? If you do have a point, I'll try to implement that. But if you don't, I'll act like I've heard what you said. I actually heard what you said, and I'll walk away. It's my choice to implement it or not. But I'm not going to say, oh, nah, what you're saying is wrong. I'll take it and go make my own choices.
Yeah, the one unique thing about Stuck in Media also, and this is something that I brought up from my place of work, is that like with other podcasts and talk shows, is, you know, like I said earlier, it's opinionated. Like people give you their opinions. But what we do that is unique is that we provide a platform for our guests to showcase what they do. And what we do is just, you know, facilitate a conversation without questions. So we don't say, oh, you should do this differently or that differently. We just ask in-depth questions that we think our listeners would want to know. And so when somebody says, oh, I don't like this, it's not, you know, it's that, it's reflective of that person that, you know, so you can deal with that. We just here to provide a platform where people can showcase what they do, and we just, you know, bring the questions. So if you have a problem with the show itself, I think it bounces off, you know what I'm saying? Like, you just pissing in the wind for real.
No, not even that. If you have a problem with an episode, right, I'm pretty sure you guys, pretty sure people, you know, to comment on other people's stuff, right? Instead of coming barking at me, right, you know where the comment button is on Instagram or YouTube. Go put it over on there and tag them so they can answer you. You're telling me what should I do? That was that person's opinion. I can't speak for that person. So if you're really in doubt, send your question directly to the source.
Screenshot, share the link. And I think for me personally, it's encouraging when people engage in the conversation in the comment section. Because we do like clips on our IG, on Facebook, and on Twitter as well. Or even in the comment section on YouTube. I do that a lot. I go read comment section. It's entertaining. You know, I know y'all do that. Comment section is lit. So you know what I'm saying? If, you know, just comment, oh, this is dope. I read those stuff. It's really encouraging, and just engage in the even if it's just like, wow, like I didn't know that, or fire emoji. You know what I'm saying? There's still a couple emojis in there, man. I know you're paying attention. You know what I mean? That's encouraging.
Yeah, all of that.
Yeah.
Financially, anything?
Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? Thank you for the check. If you want to match that check, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, we
the website.
Yeah,
on the website there's a donation button. I think it's in the contact us page. So.
Oh yeah. T-shirts. Merch. Yeah, merch. Some people got T-shirts that, you know, all goes in the stuff.
Apologies, we didn't have, you know, any merch, you know, in the house. This stuff, and like we've been planning this, and everything has just been one thing to the other, to the other, to the other, and yeah. What is that show? You were supposed to help us with that, but
buy a T-shirt online. That helps.
For those of you who don't know, the website is www.sitmpodcast.com, and they have T-shirts, phone cases, right?
Yeah. Onesie.
So they have a lot of interesting
it's
stuff.
Hoodie season, you know. Boyfriends.
Yeah. Just go check it out.
All the women who like wearing crop top. Is it crop top?
Yeah, we got crop top.
Yeah, you know, they got these little ones on there too. So.
Evelyn's been down there.
Yeah, I know, those big But my name is Evelyn. I'm a hospital pharmacist. I guess I always enjoy like listening to I guess some of the guests talk about books that inspired them. So, like, what type of books have inspired you guys, and I guess what books are you guys reading now?
I'm still trying to get through a book called Leverage to Win by one of our previous guests. It's called Leverage to Win, and just basically how you can put yourself in positions to win. That's one of the books I'm reading now. And I think he's bringing a book by our next guest.
I like it, just keep speaking to me, man. Yeah, I'm actually reading a book by one of our guests who's coming to work. So today, let's see, where's that book? It's on my other phone. It's something, and I have this habit of watching, movies and not knowing the title. I just watch the thing and I forget the title of books, but it's something about, her childhood was really bad, messed up, and she managed to change, from bad to good and being very, spiritual and all whatnot. I forget, actually, could I get my phone?
All right.
I just want to give her the title, let me promote her book name. It is called Pain. It's called Pain to Praises. Pain to Praises. And with that, alongside that, I'm reading the 5 Love Languages again. Yeah.
Alright, so 2 more questions, and then we have to wrap up because they're kicking us out of here soon.
How you guys doing? My name is Junior. I'm not a businessman. I'm a database administrator and developer. My question is, what's the 5-year goal for Stuck in the Middle?
Wow.
Well, Stuck in the Middle, if you notice, the podcast is not attached to it. That's because the podcast is just a branch of Stuck in the Middle. So the goal is to have three things on our Stuck in the Middle. The second, after the podcast, the second one is a music group, music label, for better, if people understand that language. And then the other one is like to create events. So we don't want to wait for some promoter, some big name promoter to come and say, oh yeah, Flex, come perform here. We want to create our own event, invite people, to come to it. So like we create an event and we say, okay, headlining Reflex, Kimbo, such and such artists. So that's the 5-year.
Yeah, and also just to add to that, I don't know if anybody knows Revolt TV. Yeah, it's actually on TV, like on your television dial. So not even 5 years from now, 2 years from now, Stuck in the Middle of your TV dial. So I'm gonna repeat that because y'all didn't catch that. No, y'all didn't catch that. 2 years from now, Stuck in the Middle will be on your TV dial.
Yeah.
All right, Kyle Adequana. I work at Deloitte. I do IT consulting. I had a question for you guys. Reflex, you alluded a little bit to the guy you talked to financially, who was helping you out, gave you financial advice. Other than that, do you have any, I know you guys do your research, but do you have a guest that's come onto your show and maybe like radically changed how you guys think about something? Like you were kind of like, okay, yeah, you do this, and they talk to you and you're like, wow, like this has drastically changed my viewpoint, political stance, like whatever, on that sort of subject. So.
For me, I would say the episode we recorded on Thursday, the voting one. I'm not gonna lie, I've never voted actually. Like I've never voted, just didn't care about it. I was one of those people who said it's just one vote. So, but after actually listening to them talk, that same actually sitting on that table, I registered a vote sitting on that table. So that's how much these conversations, impact me. Like I start doing things that I didn't want to do. That's just me.
Let's do that guy. All right. And Chico just being a mentor to us. Chico, his episode, I constantly watch it over and over. Like I watch his episode every month. Chico's episode. If you haven't got a chance to watch it, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
We talk about business, but we talk about a whole lot of things. And if you go on our YouTube page, we always write, key things that they talk about and then put plus more. Because we get into other things as well. We get ratchet sometimes. I know y'all like that. But yeah, Chico's episode is really one that I constantly watch over and over.
All right. Can we give them a round of applause? That's to tell all of us that we shouldn't. Is it video or picture?
100. Stuck in the middle.
I thought the public would never ever get this song.
No. See, everybody is here. They have it. It's not a joke.
She should be doing a solo, but I don't do solo. All right. So you do Snapchat? Yes, Snapchat. Yeah. Are we doing a photo first, guys?
Oh, yeah, I was wondering. It's a picture.